Welcome to the Gen Z Marketer podcast, where we have marketing conversations and everything in between. Here we talk about marketing, branding, e commerce, and the power of integrated marketing communication. I'm your host, Jamil Mali, a strategist passionate and specializing in branding and marketing for e commerce. We have talked about integrated marketing communication in the previous episodes, and I realized I never really had a dedicated episode about it. So, in this episode, let's talk about IMC. So, what it is and why marketing isn't complete without it. By the end of this episode, you should be reflecting on your current marketing efforts and whether you are practicing IMC and being really strategic when it comes to your campaigns. Before we get to it, don't forget to support the show by following the podcast to get notified on the latest uploads. So I first encountered IMC during the second year of my undergraduate studies. In one of my majors, which is communication theory, I had classmates from graduate school who were taking up the MA Integrated Marketing Communication program. I was curious as to what IMC was and what the program was about. So the more I read about it and the program, the more I fell for it. So I vowed to someday pursue my master's in IMC, which is what I'm also currently doing. So, what exactly is IMC? IMC, or Integrated Marketing Communication, is a strategic business process used to plan, develop, execute, and evaluate coordinated, measurable, persuasive, brand communication programs with consumers, customers, prospects, employees, and other relevant external and internal audiences. So that was a pretty long definition, which we will be dissecting into four different parts. Part one, IMC is a strategic business process. And with strategy, it is a thoughtful planning process with a series of actions to be taken to achieve a goal. So, IMC is a business process which involves decision makers and different teams, and it is a continuous process as goals and strategies evolve. So, let's say you have an IMC campaign with certain goals and you meet those goals and objectives. You then come up with other IMC plans to further, grow your brand or further reach different goals. Second part of the definition, we have four verbs or four key verbs when it comes to IMC. So IMC is about planning, developing, executing, and evaluating a campaign. So it is the process of conceptualizing ideas, developing them further, executing that plan, and evaluating its success and effectivity. So it covers the pre, during, and post campaign processes. The third part of the definition, so coordinated, measurable, persuasive brand communication programs. So, okay, IMC is not just marketing. It is a multidisciplinary communication strategy that seamlessly integrates marketing with branding, advertising, sales and promotion, public relations, events, and digital marketing. So the goal of IMC is measurable and to generate short term financial returns and long term brand value. It is meant to be a persuasive brand communication campaign, meaning there is a key message meant to persuade the target audience to take action. And the last part of that definition, and I quote, is with consumers, customers, prospects, employees, and other relevant external and internal audiences. So IMC involves internal and external audiences. Internal audiences are your teams and employees, and we mentioned earlier how collaboration is key in IMC planning. It involves different teams and disciplines, and once you execute your campaign, you would want other teams such as operations and merchandising be aware of your campaign. When sales representatives are facing your customers, you would want them to be aware of the campaign and be persuasive. External audiences are your customers, prospects, stakeholders, and more. As your campaign is targeted to them, consistency is key in IMC for them to get your key message and be persuaded to take action. As IMC is multidisciplinary, you also want them to get a well coordinated brand experience on all the different touch points that they may encounter you in. So now that we have defined IMC, what would campaigns be without it? Well, they are messy, uncoordinated, confusing, aimless, and ineffective. You have a message you want your audiences to receive, and you want to persuade them to take action, be it awareness or conversion. With the different channels or touch points your audience will encounter you, you would want them to get a seamless brand experience. You don't want to waste time and resources in your marketing efforts. Rather, you'd want to make maximum impact to your audience through IMC. So, how do you get started with IMC planning? If you listen to the previous episodes, you'd know that my answer is branding. You need to have a brand identity, purpose, values, a vision and a mission, a key message, and an identified target audience. Branding is the starting point, and everything else will follow. Your marketing, advertising, sales and promotion, public relations, events, and digital efforts are all based from your branding. So when you have a clear, well defined brand, it's easier to conceptualize the rest of your IMC plan. Marketing communication efforts are more meaningful, on brand, and consistent. If you feel that something is missing from your marketing, advertising, public relations efforts, IMC is what you're looking for. IMC is the key to have strategic and effective campaigns. Now that we've talked about IMC, what else would you like to know about it? Let me know at the Gen Z Marketer Podcast on Facebook, at Gen Z MKT on Instagram, and at www.genzmkt.com.